rest of its body. But as you can see, it's making decent progress, but it is not in good shape at all. This poor thing. That ear is just wrenching my soul out. Sorry, it's coming right up to us as if it almost thinks we can help it, but we can't. We can't help you. Its back foot is absolute jelly. Oh, sorry. You are not in good shape, are you? Like I said again, not easy, but at least it is on the move. Oh, no. That back foot is just too much. It's been completely torn apart. And I have seen animals survive from the worst of injuries, but this is absolutely next level. Now, I'm guessing that this is the sub-adult following its mother back to its rightful home. Hard to say, though. And I just can't be certain as to what is going on here. But the fact that one sub-adult is following the adult back indicates to me that it's more likely a female than a male. And I guess that will answer your question, Raisa, in Finland, whether this could be a nomadic male trying to establish itself into a clan. I feel that this is a mother with a cub following it, and fairly strongly about that. And males, from what I'm told, tend to not get hugely physical and ferocious when fighting with one another or when trying to get into another clan. But it's the females who lack the power and the aggression and are often the most aggressive. So looks like a war between females, and the direction that this female is heading in is in an easterly direction. Now, again, we don't know where every border of every clan starts and ends, and I'm not too sure where exactly it's heading off to. Certainly going to keep an eye on it for as long as we can. That's really interesting stuff to be involved in, even though it's hard to watch. It is important for us to try and keep track as much as possible as to what continues to go down here. In New York's just raised a good point. What if this female hyena is mother to a smaller cub, not just the sub-adult that we can see it moving with now? What would be the outcome for that cub? Well, probably at this rate, it's not looking hugely promising, Joel. But you just can't be certain. You don't know what wild animals will be able to tolerate and how resilient they will be. But Joel, yeah, tricky one to answer. If its mother dies, well then it too will face a similar fate, will starve. It's unlikely that the queen or another hyena will try and look after it from the clan, unlike animals like wild dogs. Well, this is interesting. It's heading straight back into Juma. Look at that poor foot dragging along the ground. So maybe it wasn't inter-clan disputes. I mean, judging by the direction that she's heading in, she's heading straight back into Juma. 2-year-old cub probably doesn't know what to do to console its adults. And the fact that this cub was tolerated by all the other hyena members, but its mother wasn't, is just hard to understand. You know, you'd think, you get told that within hyena clans and society, a cub will adopt the same kind of heir to the throne that its mother would have. So if its mother is a queen, it too will become a queen. If its mother's low ranking, it too will be low ranking. And it's kind of like the royal family in various countries. Regardless of the actual strength of the leader, they will still be leader. They get born into it and you become king. You just have to wait your turn. Now, is this the case with hyena to a degree? But occasionally, I think what changes is that you will sometimes get an individual who has enough of the hierarchy and will try and upstage or upthrow or overthrow a current queen. So that's what may have happened here. Sure. Horrible business now. It's having to off-road, which is going to be 1,000 times harder than moving down these open roads. But half of me is relieved by the fact that it has finally now moved off into some thick bush, because I'm not too sure how much longer I could have stayed here, to be honest. Oh, it's tough out here, it really is. And we very, very seldom get to see actually how tough life can be. And Anne's brought up an interesting point. She's wondering whether the drought experience that we're having at the moment has contributed to what we're seeing here. And Anne, I don't think so. If anything, a drought is favorable conditions for predators, because it means lots of weakening prey. Not much good food means older and weaker animals, or youngsters as well, will be easy pickings for all of the predators. And what's unique about the drought scenario in the Sabi Sands is that even though we are experiencing a drought and the water holes are dry, the natural water holes are dry, and a lot of the vegetation is drier than it normally would be, there still are artificially pumped water points which help not only the predators, but the predators are the main, they'll gain the most out of them because they only need water to drink. They don't need their food to be watered like the herbivores do. So, whereas both hyena, look here, it looks like they may have found a bit of a safe haven for the time being. There's a termite mound up here. You wonder what this adult's going to do now, whether it's going to try and seek refuge in there. Molly and Lucy, as I said earlier, I'm not too sure why the young cub was not attacked and why it was only the adults. It's a mystery to me, because that cub, like I said, would have the same kind of hierarchy in the clan as its mother would. You get born into your hierarchical structure, which is pure luck. You are either born a queen or born a pauper. But in this case, parent and cub should hold the same hierarchy. But the cub is absolutely unscathed, untouched, and was running alongside those other two cubs. I'm fairly certain it was only 3 sub-adults, rather, is probably a better term for these individuals. I'm guessing about a year in age. That could be a stray a couple of months either side of that. Smile. Smile's interested to know how long can hyena go without food, and probably about a week at the most before they really start needing their next meal. And as we can all tell, the state that this female is in is not a good one. Now, she thankfully doesn't necessarily have to hunt in order to be successful. If she is lucky, she could stumble across an animal that's died during these drought conditions of some kind of sickness or malnourishment, or she could find an easy kill where other clan members that she could miraculously make friends with again, I'm not sure, may chase off a leopard and they'll get an easy meal there. So there is hope for her, but it's not great. It really isn't. And what the future will hold for this poor hyena, I cannot be certain of, but at this stage, it doesn't look hugely bright. Again, though, I will continue to say it because miracles do happen, and I guess some things that we may, as a human, may consider a miracle, a wild animal may consider to be just a regular recovery, and they are incredibly tough animals. Peggy P is interested to know, is that foot possibly going to get gangrene? And the way it's dragging along the ground and the extent of the damage that has been done to it, it looks like it could very well become infected and become gangrenous, but hard to say. Back to a question earlier, and I can't remember who asked it. I think it was two of you asking for updates as to whether the Sabi Sands will intervene and possibly euthanize this hyena at any given stage. I'm not too sure. I've never been in a scenario like this. My initial thoughts would be that it's not likely that they will help. And that was Gubawala and Gilly in Milwaukee that were asking about the likelihood of this animal being euthanized. And usually the policy is, and the protocol is, unless a human has caused that animal pain and suffering, we let Mother Nature take its course. And even though that can be hard in certain scenarios, like this one, I think it is the best thing to do, because even though now we all feel that this hyena is doomed, even though there's this small chance, is it not better for us to leave it with that small chance? Because I think the main thing that we all need to understand is that nature was better before we arrived, and everything we've done since we've been on the planet has been negative for wildlife and animals. And even though now we may think we are helping by intervening, generally the best rule is to put your hands up, walk away, and let Mother Nature take its course, especially when it's been an animal-on-animal encounter. That's, what Mother Nature had planned out. So I think in all likelihood it will be left alone, but can't be certain, and that's not a decision that is up to us to make, thankfully. I wouldn't want to be the one making those decisions. Also, I mean, you can look at it so deeply, Gideon Gubawala, that by intervening, yes, you may be helping this one individual and this one species, this one hyena that's having a bad time. But will you be helping the other animals further down the line, the decomposers that could be feeding on it, the batuleur that may not have fed for many days, or the vulture that may not have fed for many days? Are you not going to be interfering and causing a ripple effect of things that Mother Nature did not have planned simply because you wanted to help this one? And if it was euthanized, I don't know if it would still be fit to be consumed by other animals, or if it would have to be removed from the ecosystem. But even from a point of it dying naturally in point A, where it may feed a desperate vulture, or in point B, where it may feed something else, we don't know, and that's why it's best for us to not get involved. Well, it looks like it's got stationary here, and I think we can continue on. I'm interested to go back actually to the den site, which is just down this road where we started off the hyena action this morning. I'm just going to give Andrew a quick update on the radio. Oh, perfect, he's right behind me. Andrew, the very badly wounded female and one sub-adult are lying up just on the southern side of that termite mound. Her back left foot is jelly. She can't walk on it. The left is basically falling off. Okay, dokes. We're going to send you across to Steph for an update on how his morning is going. I hope he has some bright and cheerful news after what has been quite a gloomy and tough sighting to stomach. See you later.
I can't believe the feedback that I'm getting through my earpiece from Final Control about that hyena sighting that you've been with, Scott. I mean, I just find it absolutely fascinating. I mean, what incredible behavior to witness today. Myself and Andrew are slowly dying of hypothermia as we drive down Buffelshoek-Katlan. It seems to have gotten degrees and degrees colder as the day's been going on. But not too bad. It's been quite nice. We've seen a lot of elephant activity or signs of elephant activity. No elephant themselves, unfortunately. And now what we're doing is we're just doing a slow circuit of the dams in the area, with Buffelshoek Dam our next port of call. The tracks of these ellies that we've been seeing have all been pretty just isolated islands of tracks with tracks bombshelling from there. I have a funny feeling that these ellies were sleeping during the wet of yesterday afternoon there or last night, and then moving out into the thick bush around these areas to go and feed. But we're actually just enjoying this wet day. In no time at all, I'm sure that this weather will be moving on and leaving us again in the sunshine. We got a nice question on spiders from Siberia Zumi. Hello, Siberia. And yes, the answer to your question is we do absolutely get black widow spiders here from the genus Lactrodectes. And we have the brown widow and the black widow here. The species that we find here is Indistinctus. That is the black widow spider. The Lactrodectes indistinctus is our one. Although I hear that you find widow spiders all over the world, all the way from Australia into America, and they all seem to be similarly toxic or poisonous or venomous, at least to us, at least anyway. And they've got a neurotoxin which could affect young children and people with heart conditions and very old people. For us, I'd say anywhere from 6 to about 80 years old, you definitely find a lot of pain at the bite site of a black widow spider. It's one of the most painful bites to experience out here. But black widow spiders are generally, you have to look for them to see them. The best place to look for a black widow is, in actual fact, underneath a chair, an outside chair, a garden chair. They really enjoy making their webs between parallel surfaces where they spin a very intricate web which consists of almost a bunch of trap lines that are trampolines. Now, how it works is insects walking on the bottom, on the floor, will trip one of these wires, and these wires will pull the insect off of the ground and suspend it in the air. At which point the spider comes walking along the top surface, reels in their catch, envenomates it, and then waits for it to die, and then encapsulates it in some silk, and then stores it to eat later, or larders it, as it's known amongst spiders. So a very, very specialized spider, hunting in a very specialized environment. And you don't really find in the bush a lot of places where you have parallel surfaces in dark, moist places. It's almost entirely confined to rocky crevices and areas where you find a few rocks and broken down tree stumps. So not a very common spider to find out here is the black widow.
Well, there is some good news this morning, and that is that this mother still has a young little cub. Now, we can't see it at the moment, but it was wobbling about as we arrived. It's just headed over the opposite side of the termite mound, so I'm sure it's still out and about. It's just difficult to us, or impossible for us to get a view from here unless we move all the way around, and by the time we move all the way around, the cub could well have done the same thing. So I think it is going to be in our best interest just to wait here for a moment or two. Well, I don't know about you guys, whether this hyena was at the scene of the crime with us earlier or not, I can't tell. It looked to me like there certainly was two individuals that could have been the mother. Oh, yeah, here we go. Maybe it didn't go around the other side of the den, and it just... Do you remember, VM? Did it...
I should it did go.
It did go over.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So maybe the burrows are interconnected. That's exciting news. Because earlier we weren't sure whether the burrows were interconnected, but VM confirmed that it definitely did walk over in the direction that it's heading in now, but then it popped up back through the same little burrow. Go ahead, Andrew. So I'm just chatting with Andrew on the radio quickly. Affirmative, I've just arrived, and it is active, 1 adult, 1 youngster. This is more cute and cuddly behavior after the savage attack we saw hyena delivering to another hyena. Affirmative, Andrew. And who knows what went down? I mean, that other hyena, the wounded hyena, is probably only a quarter of a mile away from us at the moment, where we last saw it, so not far away at all. And wouldn't it be wonderful to know what happened? The fact that we started our morning here with that interesting behavior where an adult, possibly not the mother of this little cub, came in, tried to kind of see what was going on, but the cub didn't come out. Now, maybe there's another adult that looks extremely similar to the mother we're looking at now. But for some reason, the cub wouldn't come out. It was just letting off a high-pitched squeal. And Marilyn in California seems to think that the reason why the little cub didn't want to come out because it heard the commotion ensue last night, and there were some tracks of hyena running around and running away from this area as we came in first thing this morning. Now, we often see tracks of hyena running up and down roads as opposed to walking, but I guess last night's tracks may have been more applicable to some kind of a battle or a chase that may have happened in this area. Hello to Shell, and Shell's interested to know if there's any activity at the other den sites at the moment. And Steph is quite far away from there now. He's up in the northeastern corner of our property, I think at Buffelshoek Waterhole. But what we can maybe do, if you all want, is we can leave this den site and go straight across there and see what's going on. I don't think there'll be enough time for Steph to cover all that ground, so either we stay here or we go check the other den site. I would be very interested to go to the other den sites, and I'd actually prefer to do that. As cute as this cub is, it'll be very interesting to see the adults and whether they have returned, and also get a closer look at the injuries that they may have sustained during the battle. I also have never actually been to that den since it has become active again. And as cute as this is, we have spent many hours here getting cuteness overloads with mother and cub, but we haven't been in a scenario where we can go to the other den and get some possibly very valuable information as to what's going on with the rest of this clan. And the fact that they're also enjoying a view out to the east facing away from us is possibly a sign that the other den site is the one where we should be right now. So, Charles, let's go and have a look. Like I said, I haven't been here since it's become active again, but there is a big hole on this side of the burrow that seems to be the most active, and there are no hyena there. I'm just going to stop up ahead here to show you the hole that I'm talking about. There's a couple of holes, but the larger one, which is just through the bushes on the right there, used to be the most active when I was last here, but things have changed since the clan has returned, or at least a portion of the clan has returned. Now, what may have happened is that adults may have come back, nursed their cubs for a few moments, the same adults we saw fighting earlier, who did look very much like the mothers of these cubs here. They may have come back, nursed the cubs, and then moved off to lick their wounds from last night, or maybe they've decided to go and lick their wounds first and deal with the cubs later. But no clear sign of any hyena in this area at the moment. Very happy that we came and looked though. This den did used to be active when I was last here. What was interesting was this tree that's fallen down used to be vertical. So this is there's a new look to this piece of real estate with the fallen down tree. And I think it just capsized with old age, or it could have been pushed over by an elephant. It does look like an elephant has actually fed on it. So we'll show you now, there's a few branches, terminal branches that look to have been broken. There we go, you can see their red edges. So maybe Ellie was the culprit who decided to capsize this tree in order to get to some of the sweet tasting canopy treats. Great stuff. Well, sadly no hyena here, but we are going to send you back to Steph, who's found another giant mammal for you.
Having finally found some of the elephants that we've been searching for, Andrew was beginning to doubt my ability to find some elephant. We came around the corner, and lo and behold, we got 4 Ellies for you. Nice youngster that you're looking at the moment, the tusks just emerging from the top lip. Following his mom around, and it looks like we've got another 2 more youngsters up there. I can't see any other elephant, although judging from the signs that we had here, to be honest, there should be more elephant around. And to try and do is try and get around. That Ellie looks like he's gonna, I don't know what's happening over there. They really have been hammering the knob thorns here. As we've been driving, we've just been noticing slabs of bark that have been peeled off of nearly every knob thorn, every large knob thorn that we can see. And what you can see is this youngster just over here that is digging some roots out of the ground. And the bush is quite thick at the moment where we are. Using a foot to dig out the roots. Here comes another one charging through the bush here to come and see what he's got. I'm bullying his route away from him. You know, even though it's quite green at the moment and it looks quite good, these ellies are going to take a little bit of strain. See, that one's just now bullied him out, stealing his route. Quite know how he's getting it on. He might go down onto his face to use his tusk. At the moment, he's using their feet and their toenails to try and kick out that route. Didn't quite get it, just got a little bit of a mouthful. And we're going to have to reposition here because they've just moved off into this very thick bush. But just to finish my comment on these ellies at the moment, even though it looks quite green and it looks like there's a lot of food around at the moment, there really isn't. It really has been quite a difficult year so far. And where they should be eating a lot of grass, they are not actually eating a lot at all. We're going to go around this thicket. I'm sure we'll be able to get these ellies again. I think the best bet for us is actually just to show you what they're doing to these knobthorns. Before we go re-find them again, have a look at this tree on my right-hand side. That is being ring-barked by some elephant. You can see those tusk marks on the wood themselves, and then the bark was leveraged off by a tusk, and then what happened was they wrapped their trunk around the bark and just basically peeled it off. All the way right to the tippy top, almost, of the tree. That's a good, I would say, 6 feet, 12 feet, 18 feet, about 20 feet off of the ground, 25 feet off of the ground. And then would have just basically popped it into their mouths and eaten it. And the reason for that is that the tree stores a lot of its nutrients in their bark and in their roots. And the elephants know that. And this time of the year, without being able to access that nutrients from the top of the tree, they would have to peel the bark off to get what they need. Now, I think let's try and go in here, Andrew. What do you think? I think it's going to be a bit hair-raising. I think we can actually access this from around the corner. I'm just going to go around the corner quickly and see if we can't get to the other side of this thicket and then come in from the bottom.
Because we managed to change our punctured tire whilst you're enjoying some time with Steph. And I wonder if this is a slow puncture or one that is going to have to be fixed before they return to camp. Either way, nice cool weather for changing tires. Not so enjoyable in the heat of the day, if it is bright and sunny as it normally is, or at least it has been most often this summer. Very hot days, but thankfully some cool weather. Well, not only cool, but a little bit of moisture, not nearly enough, but I guess in the dire situation that we are in here regarding water, any little extra amount will help. Doesn't seem to have been any leopard tracks or lion tracks found on Juma this morning as far as the radio waves go. Sounds like Aubrey's been further north, and Aubrey is one of the guides here at Juma, and he has been searching for some lion further north of where we can go. Other than that, fairly quiet on the radios. Most people actually also only got mobile at around 6:30 or 7, so it's been a slow morning on safari for those out in these areas. And just a few minutes left, so I guess time to start recapping on what's down today. And if any of you have joined more recently, you would have missed out on some phenomenal viewing of these hyenas having a fight with one another. It was kind of a one-sided affair. It was one hyena who received all of the bullying that we got to see. I think it would have been a very different affair in the early hours of the morning or late last night, because there are a few hyena running around that are wounded, not nearly as badly as the one that came off worst. Never seen it's black screen. That's right. There's a young battalier soaring above us. And the stork you may have got a glimpse of in the background, it just disappeared out of shot. Interestingly, young battalier's tails are longer than the adult's tails. And if it is so kind as to swoop back into an open area, which I don't think it's going to do just yet, we'll be able to show you one more glimpse. But their tail becomes shorter as the bird becomes older, and the reason for that is that to fly with a very short tail from birth would be an incredibly tricky situation, whereas to learn with a short tail and for it to get progressively shorter, it would become a lot easier. To Michael, who's wondering if we know where there are any eagles' nests and when are their mating seasons. It will vary slightly depending on the bird, but a lot of the birds of prey will nest at this time of the year during the summer bounty. Some in early summer, some in late summer. There's a Wahlberg's nest not far up this road. I don't think we are going to get there by the end of the safari. We also had a pair of African hawk eagles nesting off Central Road, but I think they've finished already. African harrier hawk off Vulture's Nest Road, where there's no vulture's nest, there's a harrier hawk nest. So yes, we know of a few eagles' nests, but sadly they are high up above us, and because we can't look into them, they understandably become not very interesting, because we've got no idea what's happening inside them. But there are a few around, also a few vulture's nests. Surprise safari and a unique safari where we captured some incredible footage of some very hard moments to watch, and let's all just hope that the wounded hyena does manage to have a miraculous recovery, or at least a swift ending to its career, either or, but it is in a tricky situation, and we will do our best to follow its progress, but it will be incredibly difficult to keep tabs on it. We will do our best though, and I'm not too sure who's going to be out this afternoon, but there will be some of us heading out on a safari, and we look forward for you to all join, spread the word, and well done to everyone involved. See you next time.